You know what I say all the time? I say, hey, it's good to have you. Hey, young lovers, wherever you are, and may your troubles be few. Anyway, how are you, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast. Now, this is the book. And hopefully you all got the book. If you don't have the book, you got to go get the book. You can get that at Jolley Marriage or a Jolley Marriage. Go get it. Get 2 copies if you're married. Anyway, this is the broadcast. Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast with my able and incredible, I won't say assistant because that would mess up. I'd be messed up. But my able and incredible partner, the one and only Dee Taylor-Jolley, my bride of 36 years.
He is such a character. Hello, everyone.
And welcome. Now, we want to let you know in advance that
we're pre-recorded.
This is pre-recorded. So we are in Vegas right now. I am actually probably, as this airs, on stage where I'm emceeing and hosting the Hall of Fame gala show. I am the chair of the Hall of Fame Speakers Leadership Committee, and I am also this year slated or chosen or asked to be the host of the show, which I'm honored. It's a big deal because they bring in significant hosts.
You like being an entertainer. Okay, let's get started.
Let's
please.
Get it on, baby. Hey! So come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination, which we see. And anyway, that's what I want to sing at the beginning of the show. I've got Gladys Knight doing a cameo. George Wallace, my friends, they've accepted and taken advantage. Oh, not taken advantage. They've taken my call to my request to do cameo, and then I've got a special performance live from Clint Holmes, the great Mr. Vegas who replaced Sammy Davis Jr. when he passed. So it's going to be a great night. We're on stage right now doing that. So I can't be live with you on my show. So we want to welcome everybody wherever you are. And
we want you to stay engaged with us.
So you got to follow us.
We're doing a shorter recording of some key points related to.
No, with this one, we're doing the long version. We're doing our regular show with them. The people on Instagram will get a shorter because you only could give a shorter. We would do the whole show for them too, but that Instagram live, Instagram TV, IGTV doesn't now. So we learn it. But do me a favor, everybody. Do me a favor. Share this social media new platform with everybody in your network. I want you to do a blast, a email, Facebook blast. Say, hey, y'all, turn on right now A Jolley Marriage. Follow Dr. Willie Jolley and Dee Jolley on A Jolley Marriage and get on their Facebook page and watch the show, or the Instagram live page and watch the shorter version. Do that right now. We appreciate that. So in other words, we're not going to be answering any of your questions tonight, but we got some doozies last week. We got some doozies. So we're going to talk more about money and marriage. And it's so interesting that we've had some more conversations with folks.
What's our topic?
She goes right
so
to
different.
We're different. She just goes to the bottom line. Our topic is money.
Some people like you and some people like me. So we have to blend the two. What's our topic?
How is money and money management impacting your marriage and your love life?
Okay. How is money and money management
or the lack thereof?
Well, how is money and money management impacting your marriage?
And your sex life, your love life.
Everything is about sex.
Yes. It always kind of filters back to sex. Let's talk about the weather. How does that impact sex? That's what the men think about. And women, I want you to know what we have been telling people is that most people won't talk about it. They sneak around talking about, sex is important. We are out in front and out about it, that sex is important in marriage, and many people won't talk about sex. And therefore, the problems don't get addressed. And then those little...
Okay, so what are the problems?
Oh, those little slivers, those little stress fractures just keep growing and become a chasm. So we were on TV on Channel 9, CBS television, and we talked about it, about the fact that it's time to heal them. So here are the problems.
So that was today. We actually did that
Well,
earlier.
that was, they don't know that we're today. How did you see? You don't know nothing about television. You don't have to. You don't timestamp anything in television. You don't timestamp anything. We recorded it, and so it aired on Wednesday, the 7th. But you don't timestamp because she don't know. She just don't know. I have to always coach her before we do radio television because, she's an introvert. She really doesn't want to do this, but I have convinced her. So anyway, ooh, this is funny. This is funny. I hope y'all are. Last week, so many people said how much they enjoyed last week's show because we shoot straight. Also, we were at our getting our trust done with Amy Griffin's team, and
Amy Griffin,
the great
law firm.
Amy Griffin law firm, great trust and wills. She is got the most
very patient. They explain, and this whole setting up your will and your trust is not a quick process, but it's something that you need to start because there's several pieces along the way so that the assets that you want to leave after you're gone go to the people that you want them to go to, as well as what if you're here and incapacitated? How do you want to be taken care of? And how have you positioned your assets so that the person that you want to take care of you has access to that? Like
the lady who reached out to us, her husband handled all of the finances. He did not let her in on any of the details. He had a stroke and she was pissed off because she didn't know anything. There was no information. He had no paperwork, no record.
Is this the situation where some of the viewers said it might be cultural that he didn't share
I think
the managing of
the money.
Because in certain cultures, or maybe in the culture of their family, the man handled everything.
Right. And whatever the case may be, she was pissed off. And she said, I would have hoped, I would have felt better if I hadn't known. I could help him now. I could be more impactful. I could use the asset. I can't even get access to him. So it created a problem after the fact.
So he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
Not cognizant of everything.
Or not able to communicate.
Wow.
And so she was mad. Now, what we're saying again is these are issues that impact marriages, and we find so many marriages who don't talk about it. Communication. So we've had that conversation. So anyway, Amy Griffin, I wanted to get this story out. We were at Amy Griffin's office making some more adjustments to our trust and putting more of our assets into the trust. And afterwards, our dear friend, Mashawn Butler, who works for Amy, who used to work for Industrial Bank, came down and said, I saw y'all's interview with Amy. We did an interview with Amy, and y'all were so fantastic. And we loved how Dee just goes in. I said, that's what Dee is. She's no filter, none, just goes in, says, here's the deal, call people stupid.
I did not do that. No, I didn't.
Did you? What did you say to the?
Let
me finish this conversation. The lady who said to you when you spoke at a church women's conference, the woman said to you, "My husband is an idiot. She was pregnant with one child, and she had one child. She was pregnant, and she said, "My husband is an idiot." And what did you say to the woman?
I don't remember.
I tell you what you said because everybody came out and said. She said, "You call him an idiot? Then you stupid." Look, we were at a National Speakers Association. Dee called people and said, y'all are stupid. Because she just has no filter.
No, we were talking about not knowing what your money situation was. You
All right.
should know about your, but what does
But
that
what I
mean?
said that about that is because you go in on this money thing. You have a whole thing. So we're gonna talk about some of the lessons and conversations we've had. One more thing I want to tell everybody that's been on my mind. Sometimes people reach out to us and say, do we do marriage counseling? The answer is no. We are not marriage counselors. We are not marriage counselors. Let me say it again. We are not marriage counselors. First of all, she has no patience for counseling. And second, I do have a background in counseling.
But why are you gonna put it on me?
If somebody is on a building about to jump and
I have learned as a Christian, the fact that I might say, why are you up there to begin with? You're doing it because you want attention. I'm not going to say that now.
And what were you used to say? You said.
They might, I'm not going to say
She
that.
would say, jump. You want to jump? Go ahead, jump. And I'm talking them off the edge.
I'm not going to say that now because I'm a Christian. I do care about people. So I realize that I have no patience. I got that. So I'm going to just walk away.
Man, if they're struggling, she gonna walk away. If I stay, I'm gonna tell you to jump. You want to jump? Go ahead and jump. Anyway,
No.
listen, we're not marriage counselors, we're marriage mentors. And we tell people some of the things we've learned in 36 years of marriage that have allowed us to have a happy, fun, we don't argue, no drama.
I think a mentor also means that this is what we do. What do we do? Makes sense to you?
Yeah.
How's your situation working for you? This is how our situation works.
You choose. So what we recommend is tell people get the workbook, get the workbook, and go through it. Like the person we talked to recently, this couple, who have some of this money marriage issue. We've had two conversations. One was at a party, just pulled us over to the side and said, look, here's my situation. My husband and I are separated and we didn't want a divorce, but he hasn't kept his word about the money. He hasn't made enough money and hasn't been aggressive about making more money. And I'm in a position where I am maxed out at what I can make because of the career that I'm in, which it was a nice position. And but she said, he doesn't do his part. He's not holding up his end. And he says he's going to do better. He's been saying he's going to do better, but doesn't keep his word. And it's impacted how I view him.
So you're saying it's impacting the intimacy in the sex life. You can just go straight to it.
Yeah, how I view him, my intimacy, I'm not attracted. It lost his attractiveness because I lost respect. That's really what it's saying. Okay, it's really I've lost respect for him and what he brings to the marriage and its impact. Now he's a fine man. He's a fine fella. He's not running around on me. He's not abusive. He just isn't keeping his word about the money. So what we want to say is go back to a few things. We want to do a recap. We're going to go back because this is important about how you were taught about money. Now we'll do part 2 of the conversation because the gentleman we talked in the second part of the second conversation said, well, this is how I was told about being a man. Okay. And we said, you got a bad paradigm.
So the struggles that they're having, part of it's because communication. So I was taught to keep all of my challenges and stuff to myself. And he is a very capable, wonderful spouse, successful.
Yeah.
But she feels left out. What is that word? Boundary issues.
She has boundaries. She kept saying boundaries.
And we had to kind of dig,
what does that mean?
What does that mean for you? So we cannot assume that we really understand what somebody means when they use certain words.
Right.
So communication says, let me see if I understand. Define for me what boundaries mean to you so that we're all on the same.
So the lesson here in communication for y'all is this. There are going to be difficult moments in your marriage about talking about money, talking about sex, talking about issues, talking about kids, talking about blended families, whatever it is. We've given you the 4 F's. Be frank, be friendly, be frank, not frank about what they did, but frank about your feelings. Point finger back to you. Be friendly, be frank, feelings, be fair, listen, and be focused on a win-win. And rather than attack each other, attack the problem. Now, that said, when you do that, you also have to understand that there are going to be times when you have to have these three letters, L, Q, L, Q, Q, C. Okay, L, Q, C. L, listen. Listen. Q, question.
When you say listen,
Yeah, go dig in that. Go ahead.
You listen with your head, your heart, and your body. Okay. So it's not just the words, it's what impact are the words having on your feelings? What impact are the words in terms of the body language? They could be saying one thing, but the body language says, what was that song? Your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. That's probably not good because that was somebody running around their wife. But it's the same kind of concept, right?
That's correct.
You know, your body's here, but your mind's over there. So that's for both. So when you're listening, you really do have to. How do you know that somebody's listening? You have to really lean into them. You need to look them in the eye. Forward lean. When we used to teach communication skills at church, those are some of the things that we would talk about. How do you know that somebody's really listening, or how do you get in front of somebody to get them to pay attention to you? How do you engage? So it's the body, it's the eyes, and it's the ears. All of that is a part of listening. And then so that's listening. Then the cue question. So if you really listen, then you can repeat some of those things that the person has said that you might need clarification on, right? Yeah. So just like boundaries, what does that mean? Boundaries for me, that means don't come over here, or does that mean boundaries to keep you out, or boundaries to keep you in? So we don't know. We don't know. But once you start to question, you get that clarity, which is the next piece. So you're going to listen. You're going to question to make sure that the interpretations, the definitions are right, and then you're going to say clarity. So you're saying 1, 2, 3, and 4. Am I right? Correct. And when you listen and you question, then you clarify and say, "Oh, that's what I didn't realize that." And that goes back to the 4 questions: friendly, frank about your feelings, fair, listen, question, clarify, and then focus on a win-win. You want both. You don't want to kill your partner, literally or figuratively, because you go to prison and some people don't look good in stripes, orange. She has always said, I don't look good in stripes or orange, so I can't kill you. No. Yeah, she told me when we got married, no, you cannot run around on me. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that. Now, in my younger life, I might kill you, but I've gotten older and I wiser. Because that does not work. Stripes and orange jumpsuit does not work for her. So she said, but I will do something to you. Don't go. That you, I won't go. You would not be happy. You won't be happy. But we would still be together. I'd be together. Because there's I'd be limping though. Okay, let's get. All right. Getting off track. So talk about the go back to the conversations we've had. Because one of the conversations we've got to have time. We only got. How is money and money management impacting your marriage and your sex life? Let's get back on point. We've had conversation after conversation. That seems to be a problem. And then the gentleman who brought up the batteries. All right, go ahead. All right. Just getting to that Willie Jolley, when I call his whole name, that means I'm annoyed. Okay. I'm getting to that. Willie. Okay. Okay, so question. When we were talking about the 5 basic money personalities, which we all have one or a combination of several. Yes. And we were talking about the saver, the spender, the investor, the indifferent, and the gambler. Right. And we came up with something that is SIG, 2S, 2I, and G, if you can remember. So, it's like, which category do I fall into? That's really what we were talking about. Right. And one of the people on Instagram or on last week's show, just was so wonderful. He said, there's this program, really what he said is batterers. I was like, I didn't know what that was. So I ended up looking it up. And there's something called batterers program. and that the people who attend Batterers program, their stories are all the same.
He said the stories are almost all the stories are saying that dealt with money in their marriages, which led to battery. Oh my God.
So the fights normally started related to money. And from there came physical violence. So I looked up batterers because I had never heard of it.
We had never heard of the
And
batterers
there's a
program.
certified batterers intervention program. And so I thank him for bringing forth that information. Then we can share with you guys. You guys, you know what? If money, sex, money, and communication are those three main things that break up marriages. And when you start dealing with money, the emotional aspects of money can cause somebody to want to hurt somebody.
Right. And then
because there must be so much of that, there are national and state programs that are certified battery intervention programs. And some of these programs are court ordered.
Wow.
They can go from 1 hour to 52 hours and you get a certificate.
Wow.
We don't want to be in that space.
We don't want to be in that space. And I want to take a moment to address that from a man to man. Some of this is paradigms, what you're taught. There are a lot of bad information that is passed down from generation to generation to generation about relationships. Some of it's just bad. And we want to start to fix that, clean it up, address it. One is what my friend Kevin Toney talked about in his book, Breaking the Men's Code. I talked to Kevin just this week, and the fact that he was told as a kid by his dad, his uncles, his cousins, always have a chick on the side. Always, that's how it is work. That's how it works. So when he was a founding member of the group, the Blackbirds. He was a piano player. And when he got famous with the Blackbirds, he got married right as soon as he graduated from Howard University. And for the next 25 years, he had ongoing affairs, constant. Never had a time when he didn't have a chick or a few chicks, and because they were traveling on the road, women on the side. But then he had an intervention. A friend of his who knew the Lord, he tried to get the friend to lie for him. He said, "No, I'm not doing that. My faith won't allow me to do that." And somehow they had to have an intervention with him and his wife stayed with him. They went through counseling, and they've never been separated or divorced. And I think he's going on 42 years of marriage. But he says it's changed. Now he's the minister of music at his church. He wrote this book. He said, once I had that intervention, I've never done that. He said, I got bad information from my father and my uncles. That said, same what sometimes happens with money. People talk about how you're supposed to deal with money and the fact that this whole batterers thing. I remember when I was in junior high school, I walked a girl home one day who I thought was attractive, and she was in a single parent household, and she had a number of siblings. And so we were sitting on her porch, and she said, "So if we were ever to get together, which you would hit me when you..." What? She said, "Well, that's how you know that you care, that you're serious. I would, you would be jealous."
Y'all were children.
We were teenagers. I said, "What?" I didn't know what to say. So I went home and told my mother. My mother said, "Leave that girl alone. Do not go over that girl's house no more. Never mess with her no more. Say hi to her in school and be high and by." And I took my mother's advice because that was the paradigm. Somewhere she had been told that it was how you would show your affection by being physical. So sometimes,
beating up on somebody.
Oh my God, that's not. Look, when a man. So last month, my dad told my brother and I, when we were little boys and drilled in us, never, ever hit a woman. Never. And I don't care what they do. Never. Walk away, but never hit a woman. Never hit a woman. And it was drilled into us. And so we were drilled, but some men are told that. And so that's how these batterer situations come up. And so as Dr. Fluid said in our book, and hopefully again, everybody has the book, she said, Dr. Clarice Fluid, I think she's been married 60 years. She said, but she has counseled hundreds of couples. She said, a person who hits another, a man who hits a woman or a woman who hits a man is crazy. But a person who stays is crazier. Do not allow anybody to batter you. And if you do, there's a number we have given out before, the domestic violence hotline number. You call the domestic violence hotline and do it immediately. You can Google it, you can find it, do it right now if somebody's battering you. So anyway, but I want to thank that gentleman.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, it was so impactful.
So we get helpful information and education from you.
Yes. So keep sending,
Thank you.
remember that we want you to send emails to info@williejolly.com. That's how we receive them best. Because I know social media, some people send stuff social media. I don't know even where to find it. One lady sent a note. I'm still looking for where to find it. So, but info, INF as in Frank, WILLIEJOLLEY with your issues, your marriage issues, your questions.
We will share I'll do more research and we will share information.
Right, marriage mentors. We're not gonna counsel you, but
Right.
we will give you mentorship. Okay. Now
And we share what we do and what we know. Okay, here's someone last week also asked, what do you think about is buying a home a good investment?
and temper that with one partner said it was and one partner said it wasn't.
Right.
Okay.
And my initial answer was, it depends upon your philosophy. And then Willie said
that you're buying a brick. When you pay a mortgage note every month. You're buying a brick. Every month you're buying a brick. Versus renting, where every month you're not buying a brick, but you're living there. But when the time is over, with the people who bought a brick, they got a brick to be able to sell or to get some money back from their living in that house. Versus the person who walks away and got nothing. I just think it makes more sense to buy a brick.
Okay, so of course, being Dee, I did some more research.
This research
Is buying a house a good investment? Well, according to David Bach, who's a New York Times bestseller, and I've read all of his books, Automatic Millionaire, Smart Couples Finish Rich, and Smart Women Finish Rich, says the answer is yes. Buying a house is a good investment. 6 reasons. Forced savings. So the person who normally say, even though people are talking about, okay, foreclosures, it's normally like less than 2% of homes go into foreclosure during normal times, because a person who struggled to purchase a property is going to do everything they possibly can to keep that property. So it's called forced savings. So you're building equity. You're building money in this property that you're buying. Number 2 is leverage. Leverage is you're using borrowed money. The house was $100,000. You put down maybe $10,000. So you're using somebody else's $90,000 to finance your future dreams of helping you own a home. So you've got forced savings, you've got leverage, you're using other people's money, and you get tax breaks. A renter doesn't get tax breaks.
Right.
So when you have tax breaks, when you buy a property, you are itemizing on your tax return, and the government gives you percentages back. That's called tax breaks. Then there's the pride of home ownership. And I would say that's something that we see right now, as we have other kinds of people who are moving into our area who are renters as opposed to buyers. The homeowner is going to go pick up the trash in the yard that somebody else walked by and dropped, or that one of the renters didn't care enough about it. I'm not saying all renters are not, because everybody wants a responsible renter if they have a property. But the pride of home ownership says that you are going to put extra time and energy into making sure that your property is taken care of.
Right.
And then it makes a great investment, because the average wealth is acquired with property ownership.
4 ways to make money. 4 ways to create wealth: land, lending, labor, and owning a piece of a great business. So land is real estate. Look, our time is up. Hope y'all enjoyed today's message. Look, follow us on A Jolley Marriage on all social media. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can meet us every Monday night at 9 o'clock. And then make sure you go to get the book. Get the whole bundle. We just had a couple by 7 bundles. The bundle is 2 workbooks, 2 books, an audio book, and a CD of seminars. They bought 7. Go to Jolley Marriage and get them, or A Jolley Marriage, and order your bundle, the whole package. You'll be empowered, inspired, uplifted. If you invested in getting married, doesn't it make sense to invest in staying married and enhancing that marriage so you can win together? As we said, one dream, one team. We in this together. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is Taylor-Jolley.
Jolley out. God bless y'all.